Thanks for joining me today. This is Zoe Tant at stampingscene.blogspot.co.uk. I've got a very quick, easy and simple gift bag to show you today. We've all been caught out when it's a birthday present or a Christmas present and you just need something quick and easy. And so I've got this to show you today. It's really pretty and very simple. You don't have to measure the paper, you can use any size just to suit your gift. So to get started, all you need is some tear and tape adhesive, some snail, fast fuse or Tombow, and a bone folder and a pair of snips and your piece of paper. Now I'm actually going to put this on the inside of my bag, so that's facing me, because I'm going to fold it in half and just pinch at the top to create a mark, which I'm going to use as a guide. If I then turn the paper around and I want to fold up the bottom to that mark that I've made here. You want a nice crisp fold, so if you use, that's where your bone folder comes in. And then if you flip it around, so you've got this flap that you've created at the top. Now you need to put some of the tear tape on the very lowest end of the flap. As low as possible without going over, because otherwise it will stick on the inside of the bag that you're creating. And here the snips come in rather than the tearing, so it just needs to be neat at the end. Okay, and then before you take off the backing paper, if you pull up the top and just make sure that you create the next fold so it just overlaps that tear tape. And you again use your bone folder so it's nice and crisp. Just open it up, take off the backing paper and bring it back down. And again, just be careful that you line it up, and then perhaps start push from the inside out to get a nice smooth line. Then if you turn it around, and to create the depth in your bag depends on how far you fold this up now. If you just do a narrow one, you'll have a narrow bag. If you fold it a little bit further, you'll have more depth in it. And for example, the one that I showed you earlier, just so you can see, it has it ends up with about 3 fingers width and has actually got a pair of woolly gloves inside. So just bring it up and create a pinch at either side, which again are going to be markers. You then need to lift that fold up, open it up, and then if you push your finger inside so that you've got it in this point here, and then that allows you to pull this down so that this fold that you've created, that's all part of this long fold here, can come down onto a centre line inside. And if you use your bone folder and then just score both sides, so you've effectively pushed it in from the outside and that bit's going to come in the same. Okay, and this is along, if you can see inside, where we've folded it, we've created a little bit of bulk and a fold line here. So this, you want this fold line here to line up with the one inside. And the same again on the other side. Pop your finger inside so it creates this sort of cone point here, and then just gently bring it down and make sure that it lines up with that centre line. Hold it in place and use your bone folder just to take down the sides. Okay, now we need to add another fold in. First of all, you bring the top down and you want this edge to come over this central fold line here. It doesn't have to go very far. Just make sure it's as straight as you can be. And again, the paper's starting to bulk up a little bit now, so you'll need the bone folder. Lift that and then do the same at the bottom so that the edge that you lift up here goes over this central line here. Mine's going over only about 1 centimetre or ½ an inch. And score, again making sure this is nice and straight. or as straight as you can. Open them up. Now we need to adhere it. So you've created, by putting this fold in, you've got a triangle here and a triangle here. This central piece is going to be inside the bag, so you don't want to glue that. So use the fast fuse, your snail or Tombow. And put glue on both sides. Okay, caught a little bit of the edge over there, so just rub that out of the way. And that one just wants to then fold down and give it a rub to make sure it's stuck. Okay, again on the bottom you've got two triangles that you need to put adhesive on, but this time a little bit on the edge. This is going to be the top layer that will stick on here, which won't be inside, so it's fine. So, oops, two triangles of adhesive, plus, don't forget this top part here. And you want to be careful that you don't snag your paper, so just do it gently. And then that one comes up, folds, and again, make sure it's adhered. Rub off any excess adhesive. Okay, so you can see that the bag shape is beginning to form. If you turn it around now, you'll find that you've got a square where you've got these two pieces that are folded over each other. You have a square at each end, one here and one here. If I bring them up to the camera a little bit closer, you'll see. This point now needs to come over to this one here. So if you fold it and join them up, so you've got these two sides meeting. Hold that one up, and this one all the way up to the top. And again, this is where the bone folder comes into its own, to just make sure you've got a really crisp score line. Flip it over and do the same on the other side, and then bring it round, and again bring this point up to this diagonally opposite point here. Use the bone folder, get those nice creases, turn it over and score. Okay, now if you turn it over, just gently tease those back and lift this bottom of the bag just up like that, gently. And then you want to open up the top, and if you put your arm inside and just gently open it all up. If you turn it onto one side, just push out the bottom here and make sure that you've got a nice crisp fold here, just gently. And then you'll have three fold lines. You can't see ever so well, you can just about see it there. 2 and 3. This central one needs to become a valley, so if you start at the top and just gently push it down and bring the other two up, and then work your way along, except this one doesn't want to behave. Like so, and then flip it over and do the same on the other side. So you've got 1, 2, 3 score lines, and again the central one needs to go down. So you've got a valley, and then just manipulate it gently with your finger and you'll find it goes down. Okay, so that's your bag made. It's quite tall, but we're going to shorten it by putting in some fancy folding at the top, which again, don't be put off by fancy, it's very simple. I've got my gift, nice pen, so I'm going to drop that into my bag. You could add some tissue paper as well if you want to, but I'm just going to pop it closed and hold it like that. And then with the seam line uppermost, so my seam is here, just down here where I joined the paper, I'm going to add a fanning type effect. So if you fold it over about 1 centimetre or 1/2 inch, and again use the bone folder so it's nice and crisp, then you need to flip the whole thing over. Fold it back again about 1 centimetre or 1/2 inch, and keep turning the whole thing over and folding. I remember making fans as a child like this. I don't know if you do, but it's very similar to that sort of thing. Just keep turning it over and adding folds in. Now I've got my gift in there. I'm beginning to see that I can feel that there, so I've not got much further to go. But it's entirely up to you how far you would go. Again, that's my last one now, because that's as far as my gift is. So you can see that it's got this concertina effect at the top. We now bring in our ribbon. I'm using some sparkly ribbon. I've got two colours, silver and red, because this is going to be a Christmas gift, and it needs to go around the whole of the bag. Now tying two was possibly not a wise choice when I'm trying to film, but if you just pinch it closed, your fan, and because you've got the gift in, it gives the bag some strength, and you just want to tie a bow. You can literally just add a bow, you don't need to do anything else, but you could decorate it further if you wanted to. That slipped. Right. Not too difficult to do. This ribbon's really pretty, so it makes it quite fancy all on its own. And if you bring it round and then just line it up, make sure you've got it central. There we go. And then where you've created the fans, if you just hold it and gently pull up one side, and then hold it on the other side and gently pull it up, you've got a nice gift bag there, finished, with a gusset in the side, all done. Now you can add a tag or any other decoration, as I showed you with the one earlier at the beginning of the video. On this one as well, I decided to draw it right up. If I just bring it up and show you, and you can see I put in a little staple just to hold the two fans together, which has then allowed me to punch a hole, and I've been able to thread the baker's twine through to add my tag, so it dangles nicely on the front. It's the same papers, and then I've used stamps from the Ready for Christmas to add some parcels and a Happy Christmas. Obviously you can decorate it however you want to, and this paper is a little bit thinner than the normal designer series paper, but it does work. This is the Fresh Florals, and I've created one here, and obviously the ribbons all match those, and again it doesn't even need a tag or any more decoration. And a couple of other ideas. You've got one here with a Christmas tree and a lovely foil snowflake underneath. And this one was a shorter one. I didn't have the full sheet of paper left. It was about 12 inches by 8 inches, and I've just done exactly the same process, but you'll see I only folded it up a little bit, so I'd got some length in the bag, but you lose a little bit on the depth. So I hope that's given you an idea and shown you how you can make a really simple bag. Thanks for joining me today. Bye bye.